ithi sonke.
Imnandi, uma icula ithi sonke. Imnandi, uma icula ithi sonke.
Imnandi le ngoma uma iculwa isoprano.
Imnandi, uma icula isoprano. Imnandi, uma icula isoprano.
Imnandi nandi nandi uma iculwa isoprano.
Imnandi, uma icula isoprano. Imnandi, uma icula isoprano.
Imnandi le ngoma uma iculwa ithi sonke.
Imnandi, uma icula ithi sonke. Imnandi, uma icula ithi sonke.
Imnandi le ngoma uma iculwa ile alto.
Imnandi, uma icula ile alto. Imnandi, uma icula ile alto.
Imnandi nandi nandi uma iculwa ile alto.
Imnandi, uma icula ile alto. Imnandi, uma icula ile alto.
Imnandi le ngoma uma iculwa ithi sonke.
Imnandi, uma icula ithi sonke. Imnandi, uma icula ithi sonke.
Imnandi le ngoma uma iculwa ile tena.
Imnandi, uma icula ile tena. Imnandi, uma icula ile tena.
Imnandi nandi nandi uma iculwa ile tena.
Imnandi, uma icula ile tena. Imnandi, uma icula ile tena.
Imnandi le ngoma uma iculwa ithi sonke.
Imnandi, uma icula ithi sonke. Imnandi, uma icula ithi sonke.
Imnandi le ngoma uma iculwa ibaraza.
Imnandi, uma icula. Imnandi, uma icula.
Imnandi nandi nandi uma iculwa ibaraza.
Imnandi, uma icula. Imnandi, uma icula.
Imnandi le ngoma uma iculwa ithi sonke.
Imnandi, uma icula ithi sonke. Imnandi, uma icula ithi sonke.
Imnandi le ngoma uma iculwa ithi sonke.
Imnandi, uma icula ithi sonke. Imnandi, uma icula ithi sonke.
Welcome to our last prize giving, sports prize giving award ceremony for 2019. And again, and I hope I'm not repetitive and too boring, but it's the same faces year after year and term after term. And you, people who are sitting here, are making this school proud every time you walk out onto the field, onto the courts, into the swimming pool. Last Thursday, I helped with the gala, and there were 3 or 4 swimmers who literally swam every lap of every single race, which was phenomenal. Talababa in grade 10 on Saturday scored 107 not out, something that has been really done this last couple of years. And now we come this evening to the award winners for the football, robotics. I mean, you know, what school offers robotics and gets awards is absolutely fantastic. And for the athletics. The obvious reason, you ask me why Mathew is here, the obvious reason is I don't like him on, well, I love him on one account, and then I dislike him on one account. I love him because he played for Sundowns. He played about 156 games for Sundowns. And as the boys sitting over there know, nothing was said on Monday morning. But on the other hand, when we go to athletics, Matthew's son runs the 4 and the 800 meters. He is a phenomenal athlete. And has he been beaten yet, Mathew? I don't think he has. He is a really phenomenal athlete. And that's why you don't like him, because we can't beat him. So next year we're going to put stuff in his porridge. Mathew was born in Fishhook. Just remember they said you don't trust Wikipedia? I went and diligently did all the research for this, and Mathew just said to me, now they got the date of my birth wrong. So the page says 74, and when I read it, I went backwards, and I thought, why was he accepting a new contract at the age of 38? But he wasn't born in 74, he was born in 77, which made him a hell of a lot younger when he was offered the new contract. He started playing at the age of 5. He played for Fishhook AFC, I would imagine that's Association Football Club. And then in 1993, he was invited to train with Cape Town Spurs, who with what was the other team called? No. With 7 Stars, he eventually merged to become Ajax Cape Town, and I think Ajax is the satellite team for Ajax in Amsterdam. Is that correct? Yeah. He was, as I say, he was invited to train with Cape Town Spurs, and in 1994 he turned professional. Now, if you work out his birth, he was 17 years old when he was offered a professional contract, which I think is absolutely phenomenal. And that year, although I don't think you played in the team for Cape Town Spurs, they won what was then called the Bob Save Super Bowl. Mathew has been playing professionally since 1996 for Cape Town Spurs, and Ajax, and then he was sold to Mamelodi Sundowns, where he played 152 games. The games that I'm mentioning here, in total, he's played 448 games, and those are only league games, so no cup games are involved yet. So you can add on, how many could you add on more? 40, 50? Okay, so you're looking at about 500 games, which is a massive amount. He was sold to Sundowns, where he played for 3 seasons, and then he moved to Russia, and he played for Rostov and Krylia Severtov. I don't know if you know these names, the boys, the soccer boys. These are old toppies now. He played with Sean Bartlett, who's on TV as a pundit, and Craig Rossley, and then he played against Branislav Ivanovic. Now, that is a name that I like because Branislav played for Chelsea, and as you know, I also support Chelsea. So you've got some quite illustrious. He's played with quite illustrious company, absolutely. He has played 28 times for the national side. His first game was against Botswana in the Kasafa Castle Cup in '99. He was a member of the 2000 Olympic Games, and in 2010 he was part of our World Cup squad. Mathew is married to Sonia Bonaventure, who is a former Miss South Africa princess, and he has 2 sons, and as I said, the one son, we are going to do something to him next year. Mathew retired from football in 2014, and are you the director or owner? Your card says the director of a company that supplies artificial grass. And if I may, in the tradition that normally went with him when he touched the ball, could I introduce you to Booth?
First of all, thank you to Greg Gunning and to Ms. Nhleko, to Principal White as well for the invitation and the warm welcome. It's going to be difficult to follow that performance from the choir. That was beautiful, well done, choir. And I heard you guys booing me. Hopefully you won't be booing me after this speech. Over the past couple of years, as Mr. Gunning mentioned, I've had the pleasure of interacting and mingling with your athletes because, as he mentioned, my son is running in the same league as you guys. And I must say, Principal White, you've produced some fantastic products, both on and off the field. Your manners have been impeccable, guys, so keep flying the flag. And very well done to all of you who are collecting awards today, and to those that simply participated. So I think you guys can give yourselves a round of applause. After retirement in 2014, I got involved in a number of different ventures, one of them being the artificial grass. I'm also a trustee with my wife for our trust, which we've been running since 2009. I'm also on a couple of panels, and I've also got 2 young boys, which is, as you may know, parents is a full-time profession in itself. As well as I'm busy with a project and I'm writing a book. Now, for those of you who have followed the local industry, the press have targeted or mentioned a number of incidences where ex-professional footballers, once they've retired, they've fallen on hard times. So I've decided to write a book, and what I did was I'm in the process of interviewing 16 to 17 different personalities, whether it be coaches, ex-players, current players. And what I wanted from them was to hear, first of all, life stories and funny little anecdotes from their careers. But then half of their chapter, I wanted life advice to pass on to any sports fan that might want to know what the psyche is of a professional sportsman and why they tend to spend their money and spend all their time with girls and fancy cars, etc. And to pass on that experience to a potential professional footballer who might be sitting in the crowd today and listening, to any sports fan, to any youngster who wants to have a 9-to-5 job. I think anything that I said today, although that it might be football orientated, I think there's a lesson to learn no matter what you end up doing when you leave these halls. So the thread begins like this. The first one is very much tongue-in-cheek, and I say, never have more kids than parents. And that, of course, when you go down the thread, you'll understand perhaps why I say it in reference to ex-pros who don't necessarily look after their money. Don't have more kids than parents. In this day and age, with the economy, I've got 2 young boys. I know very well what a strain it is psychologically as well. When you do retire and you don't get that regular income coming in. So very much tongue-in-cheek, but don't have more kids than parents. That's what I was told. One of the panels that I work on is the South African Institute for Drug-Free Sport, and what they do is they test the athletes. Now, I'm on a panel where we sit on a disciplinary committee, so being an ex-athlete myself, I'm basically the sympathetic ear to the athletes that's sitting on the other side of the table. And my advice to you, to the young guys, is never smoke, intake recreational or hardcore drugs during the off-season or festive break, thinking that it will leave your system. A 6-month to 4-year sanction and loss of income will await you. So again, that's from a professional point of view, but I've interacted with my fellow teammates who think, okay, during Christmas time or in June when we're on a break, I can smoke a bit of dacha. I can take it with Mandrax and it will leave my system. They are very, very wrong. Okay, and a few of them have been caught and suffered the consequences. And myself coming from Cape Town, hailing from Cape Town, I know how prevalent the drug issue is. And often, because football is so popular, such a popular sport, often football reflects society and vice versa. So it's an issue that I have to mention today. Just be very, very aware of it. Now this is the part where you can refer back to the not more kids than parents. This is a frightening statistic, and those of you who think that professional football or any professional sport is all glamour, you're very much mistaken, because the stats say that 75% of all footballers in Europe and locally, and I stress, in Europe and locally, after 5 years of retirement, you will be bankrupt, divorced, drug or alcohol dependent, or a mixture of all of those. So 75%, that's quite frightening. And that reverts back to a number of things, socioeconomic issues, not being educated enough. A lot of our players here locally, they leave school early. They need to be the breadwinner. The dynamic changes at home because now you bringing in the income and your father is not the head of the household anymore. So there's a number of little small dynamics that creep in that, again, guys, you've got to be aware of. In the changing room, team bus and hotel, let's make it fashionable to talk about the degree you are studying, your startup business, or book you are reading, rather than which car you just recently bought or how many girls you're dating. And that conversation has to be made fashionable, whether it be with you guys in the classroom, in the changing room, wherever. It's nice to be cool and hip and to follow the crowd, to be a sheep, part of the flock, to follow. Make it fashionable. Make the good things fashionable amongst you guys. And that takes leadership. It takes a little bit of heart. Like your lead singer in the front there. All right. Some of you guys were laughing and giggling at his actions, but he was in front doing his thing. So that's what I call leadership and bravery. The global and local talent pool is so competitive that often it is not one's technical ability that sets you above the rest, but perseverance, determination, communication, competitiveness, lifestyle, and being on time. So Brazil has a very similar lifestyle and upbringing to what we experience here in South Africa. Yet we see a number of their players going to Europe a lot more than we do ours. And it's not because they are better footballers. It's simply that they have more determination. And when I speak to the coaches when I interview the coaches that I'm interviewing for my book, there's a common theme which keeps on turning up, and that's determination, perseverance, things that don't have anything to do with your athleticism. Whether it's your strength, your ball skills, your technical ability, it's got nothing to do with that. And when you get out of these, when you leave these walls, you'll find that no matter what industry you work in, especially with our economy in the state that it is now, no matter what industry that you work in, the talent pool is quite small and tight. So what's going to set you apart is the things that you cannot really train. Perseverance, determination, being on time, things like that, which can add to your armory. They'll add to your armory, because in certain instances, it's a war out there. So the more armor, the more weapons you have, the more characteristics that you have, the positive ones, the better for you, and the greater chance of success. During my career, whenever I got subjected to negativity or got put on the bench, or I could clearly see this coach did not think that my capabilities were good enough, I used that. I didn't let them knock me down. I used it, and I used it in a good, competitive, angry way to prove to him that actually I deserved a chance. So I persevered. I was determined to succeed, and I came an hour earlier training earlier than the rest of the squad. I did that little bit extra. And eventually when I got my chance, I didn't let him put me back on the bench. I didn't give him that chance. So I was ready for that chance. Because as soon as you get knocked down, your head goes down, your body language retracts, your confidence is down, and perhaps when you do get that chance, when that player gets injured, whether that employee doesn't pitch up to work and you've got to step up, you've got to be ready for that chance. These days with money determining things, you find a lot of players in the English Premiership and here locally, when things start to go wrong for the team, they start to blame the coach. They take the easy way out. It's a money thing. It's easy to shirk responsibility. They know that they have a 3 or 4 year contract still in their pocket. I'm not going anywhere. So the boss is going to get the kick. All right. So they start to blame the coach. They start to speak to the directors. They lay the blame at the coach's doorstep instead of looking at themselves. A good news story is a player from the PSL. His agent recently negotiated a new contract with 40,000 Rand per month with 120,000 Rand sign-on fee after the player thought that he deserved more and wanted his mother to stop working. He invested the signing-on fee into an apartment in Sandton, rents it out as he wants to remain at home with mum, who gets half his salary and has left her job as a domestic worker. This is a great example of what the industry should be producing. Balanced young professionals with a great future ahead of them. And unfortunately in my industry, those types of kids, and I think he was 19 or 20 years old, are few and far between. So often, should you come into that kind of money, you have to have the mental ability or the intelligence to be able to deal with that shock to the system and realize, should you get into professional sport, if you are lucky, 30, 35 years old is where it ends. So your savings time is compressed as opposed to a guy who goes to work 9 to 5 and can retire at 65, 66. In 2002, I moved to Russia. Up until that stage, I'd gone on a number of trials to English clubs and either impressed, but my club had asked for too much money and it fell through, or I had gone on trial for a week and not impressed. And it came to a stage in 2002 where I thought, okay, time's running out, I'm not getting any younger, my time for retirement is in another 10, 15 years, so I've got to make some money. We kind of mercenary in that regard, when football is really the only skill set that I had at that time. And the opportunity to go to Russia came, and I took it. And I knew absolutely nothing about the country, absolutely nothing. And I was purely mercenary about it. But if a youngster came to me today to say, should I stay in South Africa or should I go overseas? I would say, take the chance. Because I learned about a different culture. I learned a new language. I learned about the people that lived in Russia. I realized how cold it was there. Minus 30, have any of you guys experienced that? Minus 30? When the corners of your eyes you have to constantly flick out the ice, in your eyes, and your phone doesn't work because it's far too cold, and the city kind of just shuts down, And when I went there, I knew about vodka, the beautiful girls, how cold it was, and I thought there were bears roaming in the street, So when I eventually got there, I was educated about how big the place was. You can fit South Africa into Russia 14 times. And it's a multicultural, diverse nation. So I would recommend anybody has that experience. Travel, after all, again, opens up the mind to a number of different things. And although a lot of our professional footballers earn some good money here in South Africa, I think you're still going to be playing against better players overseas and coached by better coaches. So yeah, that's basically everything that I can say about today. And with regards traveling, it's something that hopefully one day you guys can experience if you haven't already. And really, the world is your oyster, and continue to fly the flag, not only for your school, but for the nation and whatever you guys do. And again, thank you very much for the opportunity to speak to you. It's something that I told Mr. Gunning that I wish I did more often. And all the best, and well done to, again, the award winners tonight.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Mathew Booth, on behalf of Greenside High School and the Sports Department, would like to thank you for sharing your narrative with us and for your encouraging words of wisdom. And I like how you stressed a lot of the pillars of our school that we've displayed here as well. So thank you so much. Here's a token of appreciation from us.
Thank you once again, Mathew, for all your inspirational words. Moving to the Soccer Girls Awards. They are strong, feist, warriors, and they are women in sports. I'm honored to award our women in sport for their incredible achievements. Our seniors and junior girls soccer team placed third in their leagues. They did well in the annual women's soccer tournament and definitely had fun. These ladies have worked incredibly hard, and I would like to congratulate each and every one of them for all their hard work and for their great performance and endurance displayed throughout the season. May we know them, may we be them, and may we raise them. Let's give them another round of applause to all our soccer girls. With this being said, the following team award for soccer goes to Sialaka Kanjan. She's not here. In her absence. Junior half colors for soccer go to Refilwe, Tiamo, and Karabo Korolos. Re-award of junior half colors for soccer go to Beyonce, Tamiz, Mbali, and Sihle Dube. Junior full colors for soccer go to Sakina Williams. And a re-award of junior full colors go to Shamiz Morgan. Senior half colors for soccer go to Neo Dikhal. And a re-award of senior half colors for soccer go to Lindogu Mlojo. Could I please ask Tulufelo and Leila to please come up on stage? I always write speeches and then I scratch out and then I write it again and then I scratch it out. So I'm really going to speak from my heart. So these two young ladies, they've been playing soccer for Greenside High School for 4 years, and they've shown so much leadership. And I always ask myself, what is a leader? And a leader is somebody that has followers. But what kind of leadership do they display? And the kind of leadership that they display is they never give up. Whatever they want, they go and get it themselves. And it has been such a great pleasure to be in this journey with them for 4 years. And they have went to the JVW trials, which is a big thing for women in sport. Even Booth is like, yeah, I know. So they went for the trials, and Leila Chamaya made it into the squad. So, which is a huge thing for Greenside High School. This is like making it to nationals, because that's where they grab national players to play for Banyana Banyana. So to us, we are really, really proud of both of you for all the leadership, for all the perseverance and the non-giving up attitude that you have for Greenside High School. So without, I think everybody would agree that these two ladies deserve their full senior, full colors for soccer. Please stay on stage, sorry. And the trophy for the top goal scorer, ladies' trophy, Tulufelo Maricel. And the trophy for the best season, the trophy for the best season goes to Leila Chamai. Trophy for the team of the year goes to the junior girls. So if we could ask Sakina to please come and collect their trophy.
Good evening, and thank you, Ms. Nhleko, for the opportunity. Before I start my awards, the Boys Soccer Awards, I'd like to say thank you to the matrix that have made their, took time of their busy schedule of exams and all of that to come and be here with us. It's a huge honor for you to be here tonight and sharing this moment with us. Soccer is by far the majority sport at Greenside. We know that because of the numbers that we have. In each age group that we have, we can easily get 2 teams, but because of the logistics and all of that, we are unable to give a chance to all of you. But having said that, I know that I was also restricted to having 15 players per team, but nonetheless, I managed to keep it to 20 so that you can have that pool and so that you can move forward in going forward. So soccer this season was very successful. We had the first team that was unbeaten, but because of the technicalities, they couldn't proceed forward to the finals, to the semi-finals and the finals this year. But I also need to mention that our under-16 team emerged victorious this year and won the Discovery Cup that we played. Okay, having said that, I also want to put a challenge to you, the under-16 team tonight, with everybody here as my witnesses. With next year coming, we want to see you bringing the trophy back home again. That's the challenge to you. Now we can move to our awards. We're going to start with junior half colors for soccer. That goes to the following learners. Fumani Hubiani, Atlehang Nau, Simpiwe Ngube. If I can ask Mr. Kunene to join us, please. Lenati Mbeu. Tatenda Chiramba, Tanatswa Malunguka, Hassan Raungule, Tsepo Matsepe, and Ethan Ngwenya. For the under 14s junior full colors for soccer goes to Chad Nsimango. Now we move to the under 15s. The team award for soccer this year goes to the following learners: Chifaro Kubana, Samuel Ndlovu, Mtogosisi Bakari. It also goes to Litha Mjeke, Senalo Jordan, Hasim Afik. Junior half colors for soccer goes to the following learners: Kutwano Kwadi, Anthony Musasa, Zotani Mtetwa, Daniel Tahir. Bunolo Matsipe, Sean Hangaika, Mulungisi Mbepe. The re-awards for junior half colors for soccer this year goes to the following learners: Mangoba Mutawung, Ahmed Muslim, and Mohammed Muslim. Junior full colors for soccer for under 15 goes to the following learners: Tsepo Koiting and Tseboletele. The re-award for junior full colors for soccer under 15 goes to the following learners: Nkanyiso Maringa and Leruo Kas. Now the under 16. The junior half colors for soccer goes to the following learners: Kumo Sefoli, Ethan Govender, and Aliasa Shafa. Junior full colors for soccer for under 16 goes to the following learners: Offense Mataboge, Warwick Jacobs, Sihle Sipuka, Kumo Links, Mihle Ninzi, Tanaka Chatikobo, Letoonolo Tanjekwayo. Ntogozo Mbongose, Lesejo Sibia, Nsalala Mtembi. Vusugutle Mbalala, Prince Mduduzi Ndaba. The re-award for junior full colors for soccer under 16 goes to the following learners: Kitsani Kutwana and Muzumuhle Shandu. Now we move to the first team. We start with the junior full colors for soccer that goes to Hassan Nakuda. Senior half colors for soccer for first team goes to Akil Patel in absentia. You can see him here. Can I ask Zimela to come up stage, please? This young man has been tossed around the first team, playing as the left winger, playing as the left back, and now recently playing as the midfielder. And he has fulfilled this role from grade 8, and he's a never-die attitude kind of person. He's very versatile. He's got very clean and very skillful soccer skills. His stamina is beyond approach. And between the years that he has played for the first team, he's been awarded, as you can see, with the full colors for soccer. Last year, they had 3 tournaments in their bag. And this year also, he assisted the team so much that we were unbeaten. And tonight, it gives me great pleasure to re-award Zimela Shandu with senior full colors for soccer. Can the captain please come up stage? Duncan Abrahams has shown strong character, and since started playing soccer for Greenside High School, he has been chosen as the captain this year. The position he filled last year as assistant captain, because our captain was in grade 12 and could not fulfill all the roles where Duncan actually fit in. So he's not just the captain, he was helpful in encouraging the team, he was helpful in the game plan. In most cases, I would sit with him and we'll discuss how we're going to put our team for the match. And we shared some insightful soccer ideas with our team. So I can also add that even when the times were hard, he never looked down. He was always encouraging the team, always making sure that even in the midst of us losing games, we come up victorious. So Duncan, with the senior full colors that you had last year, the school is going to re-award you with senior full colors again this year. Can Kamu please come up stage? Whilst Kamu is walking up stage, can I also mention that Duncan is actually playing at the moment for Kaizer Chiefs. Upstage here we have a young man who is currently playing for the Kaizer Chiefs reserves, which the league that they call the MDC. I'm sure some of you are familiar with that league. It gets flighted on Saturdays and Sundays before the big match comes. So if you put your eyes closely to the screen, you'll see this young man. Skier, as they call him, he went for trials in Spain, but because he wanted to come back and finish off his matric year, he couldn't actually stay there. I think that was a good thing there, Skier, because education comes first. He's also, as I mentioned, together with Duncan, these are the two main pillars of our first team. Skia and Duncan. I've never seen a player that takes the whole team all by himself. It actually starts from the back. You collect the ball from the keeper, our keeper, and dribbles the whole team and scores. So undoubtedly, you are the dribbling wizard. And when I saw your first goal some weeks back in your game, I think you were playing Arrows or something like that. And when I saw that goal, I said to myself, we actually have got a star in the making. And I want to wish you luck also with Duncan and Zimela in going forward with your soccer. And tonight we're going to re-award with you with senior full colors for soccer. The last award for me would go to Tabang, but it's not here. I'm just going to mention it here so that it is official that the school has decided to re-award Tabang with senior full colors for soccer. Okay, I realize, I don't know how many Tswanas are here. I'm living there, but I'm actually Tswana. In my language, they say, you'll understand when I'm saying that. But a little mistake that I must rectify now. We've got 2 awards that we must give out now. The first one, without any waste of time, is the Pontoski top goal scorer of the award. That goes to both Duncan and Kamo. Can they please come up stage to come and collect? Lastly, on my side, we are awarding the Pontoski Team of the Year Trophy Award to the Under-16 team, and I'd like the captain to come up, please.
In the afternoons, on some occasions, I have extra duties to perform. And this afternoon I was watching cricket, but when I watched the football this year, I didn't realize that the under-16 team was so good. But I certainly saw a lot of the first team games because of the time they played. And the first side, those 2 gentlemen, Kamu and Duncan, you have got no idea how good they are. They really, really were something absolutely fantastic. Now, I'm coming up to the athletics awards, and unlike team sports, soccer and rugby, hockey and things like that, where you've got forwards and backs and strikers and midfield players, athletics is a very, very harsh sport because athletics is only about winning. And it was very difficult this year to give out awards because our season was cut from 6 or 7 weekly meetings, which then ended in the league inter-high, and from there, the winners of each particular inter-high or respective inter-high would then move on and go and run at Prestige. This year, I don't know why, it was cut to 4 league events, and the first league event was cancelled because the first school that we were supposed to run at simply refused to answer their telephones. And I know Bongi sent mail after mail and telephone call after telephone call, so the first week fell through. With that in mind, it has become extremely difficult to now award these things, these colors and half colors, because I feel very, very strongly about people who are awarded awards, because they have got to really outshine not only the people in our team, but they've got to outshine the people in the rest of the schools. So, if I may talk about talent, we have got 4 or 5 really, really talented people. Bokang in grade 8 is a sprinter who was unbeaten, but not that he was unbeaten, but the manner in which he won. We ran 1 week against an A-League school. We were D-League this year. And we ran against an A-League school that was Bryanston on 4 ways. And Bokang won the 200 meters by a clear 30 meters. So we are talking about somebody who has got absolute massive potential. And then about 4 weeks ago, a taxi driver took it upon himself to ride him over in Barry Herzog, and he was in a cast for about a month, I think. And today, for the first time, I saw him without his crutches. And as an athlete who is now carrying his brother over here, in my past life, I understand exactly what he is capable of doing and what he went through. We have got Nadia Usman, who is a girl who hasn't lost. She's matric this year, and she hasn't lost a race in 5 years. And then we've got what's her name? The basketball player Odinaka. Sorry, that's his surname. And we've got a host of other players like Meli and Indibuo and Mohammed. Mohammed couldn't run this year because he was injured for 2 months, and he got full colors for cross country. So we have a lot of talent. And what a lot of the kids came and asked me this week, why am I not getting colors? And I said, because it's about the perseverance that Mathew was talking about. The 60 players or the 60 runners that go there every week make the team. And unfortunately, the stars get rewarded. So junior half colors for athletics goes to Lebohang Lensa, Ashley Kweche, and Alita Sefolo. Junior full colors go to Corin Masanzu, Bokang Kanye, Daniel van Rieda, and Karin Ganunu. The re-award for junior full colors goes to Kiamoketswe Masidawani. Onenda, I'm apologizing, my angel. Your name slipped my mind. Onenda Olenga, Mikle Ninzi, Tato Mokone, Nabil Petka, Cameron Barron, Mikle Sibia, and Paul Lensa. And 2 more senior half colors go to Madia Usman and Ndibuwo Makava. There are a number of trophies. The Austin LaRue Trophy for Extraordinary Service to Athletics goes to Ndibuwo Makava. The Perm Trophy for the Best Junior Middle Distance Runner goes to Nabil Petka. The Senior Boys Trophy for 1,500 meters goes to the Senior or the Open Boys. The Pamela Page Trophy for the Best Senior Girl is Madia Usman. The Gary Mazarov Trophy for the Best Junior Sprinter is Bokang Kanile. The trophy for the Relay Team of the Year is the Open Boys. And the Ngwako Moutlet Trophy for the Best Senior Middle Distance Boys or Boy is shared because unfortunately for Meli, he was injured and Ndibuwo beat him in a couple of races. That is shared by Meli Sibia and Ndibuwo Makava.
Greenside High School robotics is a brain sport. It is an Olympic sport. It is a team sport. It is a sport that excites young minds and also keeps adults wondering what it is about. So this year's World Robots Olympiad, the theme was Smart Cities, and our robotics learners participated in 2 categories, which is the regular category and also the open category. So I'll explain that in a minute. A regular category, the name regular undermines what these bright young minds do. It gives a false impression, because what happens there in this sport, which is the most difficult, the most demanding, that requires precision, and it requires attention to detail. So if the doctor were to come to you while you are participating in this sport and to check your blood pressure, the doctor would book you off work because your blood pressure would be too high and you won't be fit to work. So these young minds, they work in this sport very hard. They come with their robots disabled. They put it together within 2 hours. They have almost 100 pieces to put together. They don't borrow each other anything or any piece. Their cell phones are switched off. They get searched. They are put in a secluded area where they don't have any communication with anyone, whether their parents or their coach. So we move on to the open category, which is not easy either. It requires learners to follow the year's theme. This year's theme was Smart Cities. They need to do research. They need to build the robots and its environment. They also need to program it. They need to test it until it meets the desired or the required outcome. So the learners have 6 months to do this before presenting it to the judges. So these robotics enthusiasts, the brilliant young minds of the future, participated in World Robot Olympiad South Africa, both in the provincial and the national competitions, which happened in July, August, and September this year, and they did exceptionally well. 2 regular category teams participated in provincials, and also 5 of the open category teams proceeded to the national competitions. And 3 teams from open category team scooped prizes, and 2 junior teams won bronze, which is the 3rd place. Their names is Regeneration and Robocops. And 1 team, which is a junior team, they won gold, which is the 1st place. And their team name is LLA 2005, and they became national champions. So if it was not of the new rule that was introduced this year by World Robot Olympiad South Africa, these young people would have gone overseas to participate in Europe, in Hungary. So it is therefore my greatest pleasure to present the colors to the following brilliant young minds. Junior half colors for robotics, Aiden Alexandra. Junior full colors for robotics, Zian Kara, Suleiman Mohammed, Shahid Kaji. Liseko Zonela, Andrea Mushekwa, Lisedi Ntsiwa. Mizba Ismail, Mohammed Irfan Ali, and Akib Khan. Re-award of Junior Full Colors for Robotics goes to Zaid Aref, Farhan Khan, Mohammed Siraj Lunet, Sorab Kauchali, Tala Isop, and Pranav Begalu. Also, senior half colors for robotics goes to Obeidla Saget Brown. He also awarded on his absence. Now we call upon Jordan Williams. I've worked with this young man side by side since last year, 2018, July to be specific, and I can safely say that he was my student assistant coach, and he's very respectful to any staff member. He cooperates with teachers, he's industrious, he's caring, he does not give up, he creates a happy environment for other learners as well. And there are many things I can say about him, but I would have to stop here because of time. There's a lot to say about Jordan. But we call him the Robo-Meister. And this year, he gained a new name, Judge Jordan. Because for the first time in Greenside High School robotics history, he was selected, he was invited by World Robots Olympiad South Africa to be the judge in the competitions. So he judged both provincial and national competitions, and he was one of the youngest judges there. And I'm proud of this young man, and I must say, they don't make them like this anymore. So thank you, Jordan, for everything you've done for Greenside, for robotics, for young people. So it is my greatest pleasure to re-award you Senior Full Colors. And these are honors full colors. Now we'll be presenting the Carl Gangster Trophy Team of the Year. Sport is not about winning, it is about persevering, practice, improving, striving for excellence. So these three young people that have been selected to get this trophy, they showed potential for robotics since the beginning of the year. They worked very hard. They worked on weekends, on public holidays while the schools were closed, just like all the others. But they were noted for their good attitude, excellent sportsmanship, and also endurance. They competed in provincials in July 2019. They proceeded to nationals in September 2019, and they scooped the first prize, gold, and they became national champions. And I'm sure by now you know who I'm talking about. LLA, Team LLA 2005, Liseko Zonela, Lise Dintsiwa, and Andrea Musheka. It's interesting because this team was also spotted by Auntie Anne herself, Mrs. Gangster, the one who's handing the trophy, because she saw the potential. She came to me with them like this and she said, Mr. Shezi, this team deserves to be in the competition. Even though they have no experience in robotics, they're doing grade 8, it's their first time, but I want them to get exposure. I need them to experience the competition. And we started working from then on, and these bright young minds, they made history. So excellent work. Well done, Liseko, Lisedi, and Andrea. In closing, I would like to call upon Misbah Ismail and Zaid, please. They've got something, they've got a surprise. Let's hear it out.
Good evening, parents, teachers, and fellow students. I am honored to be standing here tonight in order to thank someone who has a really special place in the hearts of all the robotics students. He came to the school when he was in grade 9 in 2016. He began robotics and in 2017 made the school proud when his team and himself was chosen to represent South Africa in Costa Rica at the World Robotics Olympiad. The following year, yet again, he was chosen to represent South Africa internationally in Thailand. This year, he became a coach to us juniors and guided us through this year, preparing us for the competitions which took place on the 27th of July and 3rd August 2019. Despite being in matric this year, he sacrificed his weekends and holidays to be with us at the robotics workshops and to assist us when needed. He supported us in time of need and brought a smile to our face in times of stress. He has become a brotherly figure to most of us because we know that we can always depend on him. He is the glue to our robotics family and a huge inspiration to all of us. So, the RoboMeister, aka Jordan Williams, I would like to thank you on behalf of the entire robotics family for everything you have done for all of us in the past 3 years, for all the fun times and all the stressful times. We wish you all the best for what lies beyond matric, and we know that wherever you are, your talents and skills will make you successful. We love you, and we will miss you. Please come on stage to receive a token of appreciation.
Thank you, MISPA. Thank you, robotic teams. We also like to thank parents for their supports that they've given. We thank all the teachers who also assisted us, but we also like to thank Auntie Anne for assisting us, even though behind the scenes. Thank you very much, ma'am, for everything you have done for us.
Okay, evening parents and evening principal and the teachers and lastly the learners. And I don't know why I was the last. So anyway, to my director, I think you know why. Okay, my sport is touch rugby. I started to be the teacher in charge of touch rugby this year. So I had no clue of what the sport is all about. So I had to go to my uncle Google to try and find out what touch rugby is. So touch rugby refers to games derived from rugby football, in which players do not tackle each other but instead touch their opponents, using their hands or any part of the body, clothing, or the ball. A formal competitive variety known as touch developed from rugby league and now exists as a sport in its own right. So, as Greenside High School, we decided to introduce touch rugby. I actually don't know when it was introduced. But what I know is that during the time of the director, who was my head of history, Ms. Pionkaski, I know that she was also in this touch rugby. And Director Wongi was a learner here at school while I was an educator. And I know that she played touch rugby. I'm exposing her. This year, I had a vibrant team. The boys I teach in grade 10, I love them so much. And they know. So every time when we're about to go for touch rugby, I would tell them during the history lesson to say, today we are playing touch rugby. One time I even bargained with the cell phone. I said, you are not going to get that cell phone until you win that match. So I know that yes, I had to go and caucus with the whole team so that the cell phone can come back. And to my surprise, after they went for a tournament at Pirates, they won the tournament. Those are my boys. So touch rugby, we have 2 teams, one for boys and one for girls. And I can say with the girls, it's a work in progress. But with the boys, really, I'm proud. And it is because of the boys' willingness, the dedication and commitment that Coach Bongi, I'm going to take touch rugby next year. I'm going to continue with them until they finish grade 12. So this year I've got the pleasure to award the following awards, but I'll call upon Coach Marcus and Coach Buhle to assist, and Miss White on stage with the prizes. So the certificate for the most improved player goes to Kelly Van Heiden. Okay, in absentia. And then the certificate again for the most improved player goes to Tamis Dane. Junior half colors for touch rugby goes to Ketume Tsotsolwane, grade 8. That's a diamond in the rough. Junior full colors for touch rugby goes to Dakota Ray, grade 9, Kiamogetswe Maselwane, and Shen Gallon. Okay, then I would like to pause for a moment to talk about the following boys. That is Yasa. They call him Sean, but the official name is Fumulani. Kyle Lehleonolo, Kaima, Kamva, Samgele, and Neo in absentia. These boys, like I said, they are very good in their sport. If there's one thing which Yasa likes is touch rugby. I had said, please, I must transfer that passion to history. I think it will be better, and I'm going to get a distinction. But anyway, I know that he tries the best in history, and is going to get a distinction in grade 12. That one I know. So these learners were committed throughout the year. They never lost a game since the beginning of the year. They competed in the tournament, which was there at Pirates, which prepared them for the provincial tournament, and they came first. They even challenged their coaches. As you can see, Coach Marcus is here. He can attest to the fact that he's also challenged by these boys, even if he's their coach. And they went to Cape Town, and they played in what is called the Gauteng Provincial Tournament in Cape Town. So when they went there, they were unfortunate because they did not win the competitions, but they were placed third, which I think is a very, very good success. And last year again, they went to the same tournament in Cape Town, so this year it was their second time. And I think next year it is going to be a fourth time, and we are hoping to go to the national competitions. That is my prayer for you boys. And it gives me great pleasure to award them with junior full colors to Lehleonolo Motabeng, Kamva Mgudla, Yasa Sayed, and Kyle Nganun, as well as Samgele Mahlokwane. Re-award for junior full colors for touch rugby goes to Aliyah Humphrey, Fumulan, Sean Siobo, Kaima Forbes. In absentia, so that the school knows, and it is on record, senior full colors goes to Neo Moroka, who is going to be writing the matric exam this year. And then for the Bongi Nhleko Trophy, it goes to Keamogetswe Maselwane. And then the trophy for Greenside High School Team of the Year, it goes to the first team boys. The captain must come and take the trophy. Okay, just in closing, these boys have shown that they are dedicated, they've shown that they are committed, they've shown that the sky is the limit anyway. So what was decided by the Colors Committee is that next year, since they're in grade 10, they can only get junior full colors. But next year, it was decided that they are going to get their senior full colors after the Pro Optimist, which is now called the Academic Awards Assembly, next year in January. Before I leave, there's one more award which we need to award today, which is on dance. I think you know that I'm a passionate person for dance. I'm in charge of traditional dance as well as Kwaito. And I promoted the dance festival. So this award goes to Leroy Kaz, who has been awarded Junior Full Colors for dance.
The award winners this evening, you are obviously deserving in what you received. However, we must thank these people sitting here, the people who are not here this evening, because without your coaches who are literally doing it tirelessly and giving of their time more than anything, and we know how pressed for time we are in a rushed society like today. So, ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of all the athletes here, I thank you really, and I'll thank you from the bottom of my heart for all the gifts that you're giving in their time, in your time. Thank you. And then Ms. White would like to make a presentation.
Thank you, Mr. Gunning. I won't be long. I know it's been a long evening, but I think at this last Sports Awards Assembly, I would just like to thank Mr. Nhleko and Mr. Masambuka. I think they're doing an absolutely incredible job, and I thank the Lord for both of them every day. So they are controlling 13 sporting disciplines, and they've worked incredibly hard, and you can see on an evening like this that their hard work is paying off. So to both of you, we're really, really grateful, and we cannot say enough how thankful we are for all that you do for us. Thank you.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We'd like to thank our guest speaker once again, and thank you to the parents. We know that it takes a lot of effort to fetch your children from school late at night, in the evening, and to bring them for practice during the holidays as well. Thank you to the coaches again, to the educators, our principal, for your unwavering support. We appreciate your commitment to the school, and your dedication to the learners is commendable. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
And also a huge thank you to you, Mr. Masumbuka, for all the hard work. But mostly thank you guys. Thank you to the learners. Because without you guys, I don't think any of us would be standing here. And to us, you are our children when you're on the sports field. And you also motivate us. Don't think that we're not watching what you're doing and all of that. You motivate us to do more, and you encourage us to do more. So we would like to thank you guys for all that you do for the school. Thank you so much to everyone. Thank you.